It's no big secret that celebrity culture is at an all time low. And this is for so many reasons. The desire to keep up with those that essentially do nothing for you is down, real world issues are going up and increasing every day, and people are just tired of the bullshit, inconsistency, lack of concern, tone deafness that celebrities often have and carry. And yet, despite all of that, I do think that celebrity culture is inevitable. I think it's an innately human thing that is going to show up in some way, shape, or form no matter what. And although celebrity culture is widely agreed upon to be very much ass, I think the way that society is shifting is also shifting the nature of what it means to be a celebrity. Celebrity culture is not going to disappear, it's just going to evolve. And it's evolving as we speak. We're going to talk about all of that today and then some. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am finally over my holiday sickness and I am ready to chat.
流星に導かれ出会いは夜のマリーナ
First and foremost, if you were not aware of the fact that celebrity culture is on the decline, let me be the one to inform you that yes, it absolutely is. I have wavering feelings about the information age that we find ourselves in, and I think that should be the norm. I don't think you should be all for something or all against something unless it's like a complete atrocity, obviously. There are good and bad things about the times we are in. It's a pretty large number of bad things, but there's some good. But one of the things I love about the information age that we find ourselves in is that everything is out in the open. All the bullshit of public figures, countries, societies, businesses, and in this case, celebrities, out in the open for everyone to see. And people are seeing it, and people are waking up. People are not with the bullshit anymore. The veil of consumerism and capitalism, materialism, luxury, and excess is being lifted, and people are seeing these things, the things that we were told we needed to strive for all our lives, the things that were the norm, are being exposed for what they really are. Nonsense things that don't really mean anything and only really benefit those at the top. People are less materialistic than ever, wanting nothing more than to just live a happy life or at least be content. Now, can you say that this has a lot to do with the current economical state of the world? Yes, it definitely does play a part, but like I said earlier, with us being in the information age, everything is being exposed. And a lot of current celebrities just aren't aligned with this new wave. Celebrities are meant to inspire, and with people's desires changing, who they look up to will ultimately change as well. People I know don't want the mansion, the cars, the women, the drugs, and to go to galas anymore. To them, that's not living. That's just indulging in material things, things that we all know are not going to make you happy. People just want to live and not have to struggle, do things they enjoy, have a place on their own. For some people, that's not a mansion, that's a farm. I am some people. The appeals of luxury and excess are falling out of favor fast. And this will and has rippling effects through the current ecosystem of current celebrity culture. In our information age, the currency that runs everything is not dollars and cents, but attention. And if the attention shifts from luxury and excess to something else, those who benefit from that attention are going to feel the effects. People are tired of the inauthenticity, the gaudiness, the being lied to, the being treated like sheep that these big conglomerates think will just buy anything as long as somebody who is remotely famous co-signs it. I mean, outside of entertainment and maybe some inspiration here and there, something to look up to, what do celebrities really do for you? Now, this is the point where I say not all celebrities. If you have your favorite that does do some good stuff, I'm not talking about them. We're talking about the majority. So yes, I'm technically generalizing, but I mean, okay. I feel like celebrities can be generalized. They got money. The majority of celebrities, I won't say all, the majority of celebrities don't inform, they don't educate, they don't make change, they don't advocate for change unless they're feeling pressure to do so. They don't inspire hope, they don't really do anything but further their own career and their own brands and their own image, which leads to more money in their own pockets. They help us indulge in our favorite forms of escapism by being the content, flaunt their wealth and their status in their life via social media, and be hot. And I think you can see why some people are kind of just fed up with that. Standards are rising. The public is not just going to go for anything nowadays. You got to be more than just talented and hot for me to continue to throw money at you and just be okay with you getting money and not doing anything else. And I'm not going to get on here and defend celebrities, but I'm also not trying to specifically villainize them. In a vacuum, on a macro scale, they didn't really do anything wrong. They're also kind of victims of the celebrity culture that has already existed before them. However, they are people. They can make their own choices. They can make their own decisions. And also, obviously, when I say they're not doing anything, I'm respecting their talent and their craft. I'm not saying your favorite actor is not talented. I'm not saying your favorite artist is not talented. Obviously, they're talented. Well, some of y'all's favorite artists are talented. I'm not gonna say all, but that's not what I'm getting at. I'm not discrediting anyone's craft or anything like that. And despite all of that, I do think celebrity culture is inevitable. Which, after saying all that I just said, does sound concerning, right? I get that. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying it as like a genuine observation about us. And in an interesting way, I don't think this is inherently bad or anything. I see celebrity culture as being an inevitable part of human society and human culture. I mean, let's think about it. The concept of a celebrity has been around for a while. There are names to this day that we still know and speak about from thousands of years ago. Are these people not proto-celebrities? Now, I know I'm very much in the infancy of my channel, especially with the video essay thing. This is like a new thing that I'm venturing into, but I hope it is obvious that while I don't have a specific niche, I do really like to talk about humans, human history, human society, things that really make us us. Speaking of, thank you for all the love and support that these videos have been getting. It really does warm my heart when I get a really nice, thoughtful comment. The fact that people are tuning in is crazy to me. I read every comment. The comments are so motivating and they're so nice and they're so affirming, and I really do appreciate that. So if you've watched a couple videos already, which if you have, I am eternally grateful for you. But a thing you might often hear me say is that as humans, we love to tell stories. I made a video about how telling stories is like our superpower. In one of my favorite books, Sapiens, A Brief Human History, the author talks about humans' introduction into what they call our cognitive revolution. Again, I talk about this in another video in more depth, so I won't go too deep into it, but I will summarize a little bit. So to summarize, it is like our broken ability to believe things that are outside of our physical reality, which when you think about it is a very crazy thing to be able to do, and it's criminally underrated when it comes to talking about human things. So essentially we have this ability to create something that everyone believes in, whether it's physically real or not, right? As long as this communal belief exists, this imagined reality that we have created exerts real force into the world. So that leads to things like myths, right? A lot of cultures have different myths for why things happen, right? A lot of them involving things that aren't physical, right? Things we can't physically see, which in turn leads to the creation of gods, which leads to religions. The same system kind of happens on a community level. People banding together because they have similar beliefs, whether that is they all have a similar belief in a myth, or they just all collectively know or believe that being in a group is safer and more beneficial. Either way, this leads to groups, which leads to tribes, which leads to villages, which leads to cities and societies and cultures and nations, and you see what I'm getting at. And then taking it even further leads to corporations. Corporation is not a physical thing. It's just like a title. It's an entity. Yet it has real world implications, real world effects. You deal with corporations all the time. They have legal rights. We gave legal rights to something that doesn't exist. Just let that sink in and think about that. All of these things exist only because we all agreed that they exist. And like I said earlier, these things all have real world effects and implications. These made up things. One thing I love saying is we just made it all up. I love that. I love it and hate it. We made it all up. That's what we do as humans. We just make shit up, but we also make it happen. Crazy stuff, crazy book. You should check it out. Truth be told, I haven't finished the book. I just got stuck on that one part and I loved it so much, but I'm sure the rest of it is fantastic. Okay, so I'm getting a little bit off topic. What does this have to do with celebrities and celebrity culture? If you ask me, everything. Check it out. I would argue the biggest allure of celebrities is the story aspect behind them. It's what they do and who they are as well, sure, but it's also the stories we hear and conjure up ourselves about them that give them that elevated status. Because you don't know them personally, so you only know what you see or what you hear, what people tell you. Which is also why I think that celebrities nowadays don't have the same allure as celebrities back then, but we'll get into that later. Let's take someone like Michael Jordan. Do you hear how his contemporaries, people he's played against, talk about him? They call him Black Jesus. People he was actively playing against calling him Black Jesus. Like, that's crazy. Which is insane in general, but I think it speaks to a very good point. There's this myth around him. There's this legendary status that he has. Someone always has a new story to tell about him. It's him doing something crazy. Yes, he was also really good at what he did, arguably one of the best, but it's when you put those two things together that you get something completely different. And we love stories and we love myths. Every single culture ever that has ever existed that we know of or that we don't know of has probably definitely had some sort of myth or legend or story or something that brought people together. We just love doing this, man. What are some of those ancient names that I said still come up today and that we still talk about in contemporary society? Like really old names. Gilgamesh, Alexander the Great, Mansa Musa, Jesus, Buddha, Shaka Zulu. It's widely accepted by scholars that yes, all of these people were in fact real people, and some of these names on this list are literal deities now. Now, the further you go back in history, the more mythical these people seem. I mean, if people talk about Michael Jordan in the way they do when there was cameras and phones and other modern technology, you can imagine what they were saying when like King Arthur was like in his prime, right? With someone like a King Arthur or the other names that I listed, I think it's humans' natural ability and inclination to tell stories and create myths with the lack of technology that creates these larger than life mythical figures that we see. And I think on a smaller scale, especially with the introduction of technology, this is essentially just what celebrities are. People with great stories behind them often have great talent or skills as well. So as long as there are talented, charming, and hot people in the world, I think there are always going to be celebrities in some way, shape, or form. But that form is changing, and it's changing fast, and we're in the middle of it right now. So I've hinted at where we're going in this next section of this video, but I think that the rise of technology is directly related to the decline of celebrity culture as we currently know it. People are tired of a lot of the bullshit, and a lot of the bullshit is out in the open, right? The allure of celebrities is they feel so distant and unreachable, yet also familiar. They are still humans. But now celebrities are everywhere. You literally see them every day. You see what they're doing every day. You can reach out to a celebrity and your chances of getting a response in some way, shape, or form have never been higher. It was not the case 20, 30, 1,000 years ago, which at first was cool, but decades into the social media era, it's just not hitting the same. We know too much. We see too much. Everyone is way too connected. Celebrities are closer than ever, which for your current brand of celebrity, I think is to their detriment. Like I said earlier, people are tuning out these celebrities that we're now seeing don't really do much for us. So this perceived closeness to these people that don't do anything for us is getting a little annoying, and also it's like, what's the point? Other than to further engage in your choice of escapism, of course. Which a lot of people are also seeing is not the way to do it. So this perceived closeness is not good for the current brand of celebrities, and it's just going to increase as technology increases. But being close to your audience does sound good for a specific group of people on the internet that I know of. That group of people being influencers and content creators. Yes, we're getting to the point. Yes, what I am saying is that the current celebrity is now evolving into what the current definition of an influencer and content creator is. I mean, I think they fit the mold perfectly for what the current state of society is looking for. Authenticity, information, entertainment, inspiration, hope, change, creativity, being super niche, and because of that nicheness, creating a real community behind it that people feel like they're actually a part of, and so much more. Honestly, I'm putting anybody in this category that does something that doesn't have the backing of like a big conglomerate or label or whatever. So your favorite artist that you know on Spotify that's not signed or whatever, put them in that category. Now, this is not a video from a content creator saying that if you want to be famous, if you want to be a celebrity, you need to be a content creator. That's not what I'm saying at all. I don't want fame. What I'm saying is that the current celebrity model that we've known, that we've held to be true for years, is on the decline and eventually will be non-existent. And through the ashes, through the rubble, you will have the content creators and the influencers left. Although my goal is to be like 80% offline at all times, the internet and platforms such as YouTube and Patreon, SoundCloud, Nebula, Vimeo, Twitch are so important, so big, and are growing at a crazy rate. They support the new wave of micro celebrities that are in turn turning into the new celebrities. While you'll hear me talk about technology being bad and this and that, in general, I think this is great. I'm tired of the lion's share of things like wealth and status being held to the select few that are celebrities that fit the old mold and of what it means to be a celebrity. Small businesses, relatively small creators, tight-knit communities, that's where we're headed. That's what I see for the future. I mean, as a director and a cinematographer, I can't help but look at the state of Hollywood and streaming services and think about how it's not out of the realm of possibility that all of that is going to just crash and burn within the next couple of years, maybe couple of decades. And through the ashes, we'll see smaller production teams, smaller content creators, smaller everything, just engulfing that power vacuum. People having their own shows and their own series, popular influencers or actors that mainly got their start on the internet starring in different internet shows and internet series. These are things you see now. All I'm saying is it's going to be the norm. People prioritizing their own award shows, making their own award shows. These are things that people are doing now, and it's just going to keep going up. Now, I know that influencers and content creators are not a new thing. They have kind of been around for some time, but even that and what people are expecting from their influencers and content creators is changing. Nobody wants inauthenticity. Nobody wants the finance bros who are renting these cars and renting these houses and flaunting it as their own just so they can sell a course. I'm sure somebody still wants that, but that's on the decline. In the grand scheme of things, especially when looking at major industries like Hollywood and just looking at what a celebrity is in general, content creators haven't been around. That concept of being a content creator or an influencer hasn't been around for long at all, right? And we haven't seen the full transition from big celebrities no more to influencers and content creators being the main type of celebrity. We haven't seen the full transition yet. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out with the decline of current celebrity culture and the rise of content creators and influencers, but with also our love for just getting behind people and making myths and stories and things like that. And that's the crazy thing about humans. Literally anything is possible when all you do is make shit up. But what do you think? How do you feel about this topic? Where do you see things going? Real quick, I was not sure at all when I was going to be done with this video. I'm literally editing it right now, but I do think I'm going to get it out in time for New Year's Day, probably not New Year's Eve. So I'm just going to say Happy New Year to everyone. I hope that this year brings you whatever you want from this year. I know we're just getting started on this channel, but again, I do have to really talk about how appreciative I am for the reception I've been getting from these video essays. Like you've probably heard me say, or you might already know, I'm primarily a director of photography. I do a lot of camera stuff, and I consume so much content on YouTube, specifically video essays, and it's always something that in the back of my mind, I always wanted to do, but I never thought I could actually do it, whether it was because I didn't think I was capable, or I didn't think I could talk on camera, or I didn't think I was smart enough to write an essay and talk about it. So getting all this positive feedback and reception from all this really, really does mean a lot to me. And I do have to say thank you. And I didn't think my year was going to end this way. If I'm being honest, my year 2025 just didn't go any way, shape, or form that I thought it was going to or like I planned. But it had to happen. It was meant to happen that way. And, you know, all in all, it didn't go how I wanted to, but I don't have many complaints. Here's to 2026. Again, thank you for staying this long. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for everything. We're going to keep it pushing in 2026. I know right now we're not really anywhere yet, but to me, this is somewhere, and I'm excited to see what else we have in store. I'm only really on Instagram, to be honest, and I have two accounts. One is like my more personal account where it's just like pictures of me and stuff, and my other is like my actual portfolio for like my film and camera work. Follow both if you want to. I think I'm gonna start promoting my personal one more just because I do want to keep my other one. I do want to keep it my portfolio somewhat professional. Like they don't need to know that I'm on YouTube, right? They just want to see my work. So follow this page if you want to. But again, thank you, and see you in 2026.